Hey friend, I hope that you're doing well. So recently I was talking to a friend about what it's like to build a business. This particular friend is a startup founder, so I wanted to talk to her about what life has been like as a startup founder and what the early stages of building a business has felt like for her. I think when we see a lot of content out there about what it means to build a business, it's a lot of intense, high productivity content that makes us feel like we should always be go, go, go when it comes to building something on our own, whether that's a business or a creative pursuit. If you do have ADHD, we can often feel guilty if we feel like we're not producing enough or if we're not doing something the quote unquote right way. Historically, especially if you worked in a corporate environment, guilt, shame, pressure are typically the tools that are used to get people to do their jobs and produce things. It's feeling like you can't mess up in front of a boss, or being afraid to look stupid in front of your team, or being scared to show up unprepared to a really important meeting. These are all guilt and shame techniques that make us feel like we should be doing things a certain way and at a certain speed that might not always line up with what is realistic, and also might not line up with how we normally function. So the idea that came up was ADHDers tend to force ourselves to do things out of guilt or shame, but what we really thrive off of is joy. We really thrive off of being able to do things that we desire to do and want to do. And usually that desire and that will is fueled by the feeling of joy. And this whole idea was something that we really broke down in our conversation. And the more that I thought about it, the more I realized that I experience desire to do things in different ways. And it's usually sort of like a big momentum swing for me, where if I feel like I am lacking creativity in my day to day, I tend to gravitate towards more creative pursuits. Now, in the past, I would have typically shamed and bullied myself into doing things that are more traditionally productive, maybe working on a business and doing things that are more technical instead of letting myself write or listen to music. But when I block myself from indulging in that desire out of fear that it's not what I should be doing, then I'm actually just putting myself in a position where I don't do anything at all because I had momentum and a desire to do something, but I stop myself. But it's not like that generates new desire to do the thing that I'm avoiding. I will find myself getting excited and desiring to do those tasks. But the thing for me is it's sort of like a pendulum, where when I experience too much of one thing, I'm going to start to crave another thing. I don't know if you've ever experienced, having too much candy at one point. And if you have too much sugar in your system, your body will send you signals that starts to crave whole foods. And every once in a while, when you are consistently eating whole foods, sometimes you'll get a sugar craving, and then you can let yourself have a treat. And I think it's the same for me when it comes to ADHD, and maybe it's something that you experience as well, is I found that I'm actually more productive when I let myself indulge into things that I desire. And when I let myself have those things for some time, I will eventually start to desire other things. But I think that this is something that's really important to really reflect on, getting a sense of how your brain works, how your energy levels operate, and also what kind of external accountability sources work well for you. And what are the motivators that help you get things done that you know that you need to do? I think that if you let yourself have that, it can generate momentum so that you can get into a flow that you need to get into in order to be productive. Instead of focusing on shame and guilting yourself into doing work, let yourself have that joy and let yourself have the space to play around so that you can actually accomplish what it is that you want to do. At the end of the day, it's still going to get done. So you might as well go with the natural flow of your energy levels and desires, and at least make it feel like it's not an uphill battle to do the things that you want to do. So pay attention to your body, pay attention to your mind. Just let it happen and see what works for you. Just know that you will always have all of these tools at your disposal in order to manage a work life and a productivity system that works well for you. So that's all for today. I hope it was helpful. Please let yourself be motivated more through desire than through guilt or shame. I think it's the healthiest thing that anyone with ADHD can do for themselves. But until next time, everybody, take care. I'll see you soon.